Hello to my Geminis and happy new moon, Geminis. Happy new moon. This is Queen Amon Ra coming to you with your general reading. All right, Geminis, let's make sure this mic is on. Let's make sure you can hear me loud and clear. We're going to get into it. Happy new moon in Sagittarius. So new moon means it's time for you to just kind of sort of make sure that that last cycle is closed out airtight, that you're operating in a spirit of love, in a spirit of love. What I'm picking up for you all before I even lay the cards down. For one, I feel like somebody is in a new marriage, either a new marriage or a new relationship that's like new and exuberant. Or if you're if you're still with your if you're still with your person, if you're with your person, y'all hit a reset button and it just feels fresh and new and exuberant. You and your person, and you're in good spirits, right? But I also feel like, and this is why I want you all to close out cycles airtight and keep things off of social media if you can, unless you're a super famous person and you got people click, taking pictures of you everywhere you go, right? I feel like the people from your past probably told a lot of lies about how you, whatever platform you're on, that you like to do a lot of grandstanding, a lot of, talking about your relationships or what goes on behind closed doors, when not true. So let's get into your reading. Let's get right into your reading. All right, let's get into your reading. Yeah. That's not necessarily the energy that I get from the Geminis that I've come in contact with. I don't really. I'm scanning my brain right now. Wherever Gemini is in your birth chart, somebody could be like, that's the reason why your relationship came to an end, or your relationships come to an end because you talk about what goes on behind closed door. That's why your relationships, almost like you're a gossiper, right? You tell everything that goes on behind closed doors. If that was the truth, yeah. Anyway, it's time to flourish, right? You know what it sounds like to me, Gemini? It sounds like some people just don't want to take accountability. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like people don't want to take accountability. It's just so many people had the same thing in common. Geminis, you're free. Somebody is free. This is what I'm picking up on. You're free. I'm gonna lay the cards out here. I'm gonna give y'all a scenario I'll talk about. So let's say, for instance, you're watching a movie, or I don't know if I was telling Gemini about this movie or not, the movie Hush. It's a movie with Gwyneth Paltrow plays in it. She stars in it. She's one of the stars in it. Let's say, for example, you have a platform like this. Let's say you're a reader. Because this is the energy I'm picking up on. Is that you gossip, you talk too much about what goes on behind closed doors, and that's the reason why some people don't want you to be a part of something. You gossip, right? But y'all heard the term "hit dogs will holler." You're not talking about anybody behind your closed doors. You could be talking about other situations that have nothing to do with them. So if y'all haven't seen the movie Hush, it came out in '98. It's a thriller with Jessica Lange and Gwyneth Paltrow. Some other actors obviously were in the movie, but it's about a guy and they weren't married in the beginning of the movie. They were dating in the beginning of the movie. And I want to say they were living in the city. And you find out sort of kind of in the middle of the movie or somewhere midway of the movie that the son he was the one that actually a farm was left to him, but the mother was living on the farm. And Then you see kind of like the weird dynamics there, right, with that situation. Obviously, that's not always a situation between like a daughter-in-law and a mother-in-law, but the son picked up on something, like he had forgotten something. He had forgotten a memory, something that happened a long time ago. And people wanted to, the mother, her energy wanted him to hush, like basically like be quiet, don't talk about certain things, like you shouldn't be talking about certain things, because the way that the son remembered something was the way that the mother wanted him to remember it, right? If y'all got to see the movie, if y'all haven't seen it. That can happen with a father and a son, but that can happen with a mother and a daughter. It can happen between a parent and a child, just put it that way, right? So let's say if I was reading cards and that movie came to my memory, right? And I start talking about the movie, but I never mentioned the title of the movie. Because obviously, if you've been with me for a while, I used to have books in the background, right? Somebody that you were in a relationship with, instead of them healing themselves, they would rather assume that everything that you say is targeting them. Any kind of platform that you're on is targeting them, right? If you're calling them out and giving them a compliment, they're sitting there smiling like a Cheshire cat grin on their face. But if you're just making reference to something and you could be talking about anything, then you must be attacking them. No, not necessarily. You have this whole new lease on life. This is you right here. Current situation. Whole new lease on life, right? So when you're around people who you got to explain every little thing that you're doing, you're in a relationship with somebody that you got to explain every little thing that you're doing. It's different when it's brand new, but you've been with that person and you got to keep explaining that you're not, anytime you post something on social media, they're sensitive to it. They're looking for any reason to swear up and down you're talking about them. You have this whole new lease on life. Anyway, challenge here. Yeah. Somebody lives close to you. And your abundance and your prosperity is growing. And that's a challenge. And somebody lives close to you. It could be your kids or, and so somebody's kind of like fishing for information. That's why you see the fish on somebody's back. Like somebody's kind of like fishing for some information. Because you know that it's time for you to flourish, but somebody feels like it's time to end something with you, to cut ties with you, right? So they're fishing for information because you have this whole new lease on life and things are growing for you. And remember, we had the sturgeon fish back in August, right? We just had a cycle with a beaver moon, and people are trying to figure out why you're being so cold. You know, like a beaver builds a dam. Like, why are you being so cold? Why are you so shut off? Like, you have this whole new lease on life. And part of it is because you've been carrying energies on your back for a long time anyway, as your abundance and your prosperity grow, and them doing stuff and talking about you behind your back. Only, like I said, you finally woke up. You finally woke up and realized, wow, you didn't even realize people were talking about your own loved ones, people that you've been carrying. The example that I gave in Taurus reading was something I saw on Instagram. This guy, he and his wife went to dinner and they were all sitting around, and so the wife was like, "This time don't pick up the bill." Like, if you've been tuning into my channel, you've like heard the story a gazillion times. Let's say a gazillion and one more time. But the wife said, "Don't pick up the bill this time." And the husband was like, "Why? Why not pick up the bill?" She was like, "Let's just see how they respond, how the family responds when we don't pay the bill." And family walked out. They all, it's almost like they were, I don't know if they were angry or shocked or surprised what it was. But the husband was disappointed because nobody said anything to them as they left. Right. So for you, you've been carrying people for so long. When you finally decide, hey, I'm cutting ties with energies because I now realize these energies, They're just fishing for information to grow their abundance and prosperity. When you've been carrying these people, they've been secretly just fishing for information and using a young person to do it. That's how they were able to get a whole new lease on life. They've been doing something behind your back with someone's mental health. They're overwhelmed. You see, this moon card connects us with Pisces. And so whatever your zodiac sign is in your 12th house, that's what you're going to communicate to put an end to something. That is how you're going to communicate, because something is just beyond you. Like it's just something is just like blowing your mind that you would carry all these people. Just like the guy in the restaurant with his wife. Something is blowing your mind that you would carry these people for this long and they still would do something behind your back just to have this whole new lease on life. Monitor your schedule, do something as far as your kids are concerned. And you're just like, it's just blowing your mind. Like you just can't even believe that people have this sense of entitlement, that they would do this. So your 12th house is going to put an end to all of it. So we're in the new moon, new you, super new you. The moon is in Jupiter. I mean, not the moon is in Jupiter, excuse me. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Your 12th house is going to put an end to it. Communicate it. Communicate it. It's going to put an end to it. It's going to put a whole new end to this whole new, this sense of entitlement that you've been carrying people this long as your abundance and your prosperity is growing, that you're still expected to carry these energies. Like secretly carry them while they talk about you and do stuff behind your back. That's going to be a no. That's going to be a no. They don't say anything to you. This would literally, let me give somebody an example. This will be an example of somebody asking your kids about you, but won't speak to you directly. I don't know if that's clear or not. How's Gemini doing? And your kids just like on program. Oh, they're fine. But what's going on in their lives? We haven't told you, haven't anything. What's going on? And they just telling what they know. They're not even thinking. They're just like, okay, well, I guess because it's been happening for so long. They want to know. And so you're shutting down. You're saying, no, I'm just cutting ties with that. So anything you say, anything that you say, somebody wants that to be a part of their growth and their abundance, like in terms of their wealth, because they got people around them that they're carrying the load for them. So they're doing it secretly behind your back. So it's like your kids with friends who feel like, okay, you gotta know how much sturgeon fish are, right? It's like your kids' friends, and they could be adult kids, by the way. Your kids' friends assuming that you have the wealth and abundance, and so they feel like they're entitled to leave them with the bill. But what's happening is, so as your abundance and your prosperity is growing, and of course it's the holiday season for some of you all. Somebody thinking, okay, you coming into some big money, you gonna be going some places, and I don't know what. Let's see what's happening here. I feel like you're gonna be like the wife in that what I just told you in the thing I saw on Instagram. Yeah, something has been a nightmare for you. Nine of Swords. Something has been a nightmare for you because you saw something. What you discovered is your gifts, your hidden gifts and talents. You saw what this energy had to go through for this new lease on life in your dreams. It came in through a download of your dreams, and you care too much about people that have you. Listen, the sun is a star, right? The sun is a star. The sun illuminates the moon. So something was illuminated as to what this person had to go through for this whole new lease on life. And you're saying, absolutely not. Absolutely not. All this stuff going on behind your back. And people want to ride you like Seabiscuit. You don't think so? So let's see. Yeah, but that's what came to me is that what I saw on that Instagram thing. with the husband and wife. And of course, somebody probably blame the wife. They probably say, we told you not to marry her anyway. She think too much. She too smart for her own britches. But no, so something's been going on behind your back because somebody feels like that somebody wanted a whole new lease on life, and other people thought, okay, we just hitch a ride, we'll just go with you. Where they have to had a responsibility, and secretly doing stuff behind your back, sneaky as usual. Here we have the Ten of Swords, and so I see you thriving. I see you thriving. You're ending something. Your immediate return to sender. You talking about it is going to send the spell work back immediately because it's going out through the air. Other people are going to see it. They're going to be like, okay, this person is lazy. This person isn't doing anything. They don't want to work. That's different than you filming videos. You are working because you can monetize your channel. This person ain't doing anything. They just want a whole new lease on life, right? But you found secretly your gifts. This is what they tried to say about you. They said about you that you would just be riding this person's coattails. Whoever this person is, you would just be you just want people to take care of you. But that's not the energy that I'm picking up on. I feel like I'm picking up on you're a really hardworking person. And so it's really sending that spell work right back to them. Because you had no idea people were secretly doing stuff, and ending somebody behind closed doors. Because usually with the Ten of Swords, the person is lying down with 10 swords in them. You had no idea at first until you woke up. When you start talking about stuff and you start healing from stuff, you start realizing, oh, these family members are out of their mind. This one right here is too afraid to talk about it, really. But you already know. You'll see them. Trust me, you will see them. I'm talking about you will see them in the flesh. You will see them. Because it's something they can't hide. You've already seen evidence of some things. Yeah, they get the message. They get it loud and clear. They've been sneaky. They've been sneaking around and they've been sneaky. They thought that you weren't going to flourish and you're about to cut everybody off. So that's why they're feeling some kind of way, because they've been doing stuff behind your back, sleeping together. Somebody could be pregnant or could have been pregnant in the past, whoever this is. That's why they feel like they're so comfortable with getting in the car and riding with somebody and talking close to somebody about their childhood. This would be like an aunt or uncle that you treated their kids fairly and kind and nice, and they're trying to mirror that energy, except you didn't want their person. You didn't want their spouse. You didn't want their person or whoever they dated with. They weren't never your type. But they wanted your life. That's what water is. Water is reflective. So, but they think they're going to use your child to get a new life. They sneaky. And you've always known them to be this way. Always been sneaky. And the person that you could have a child with, same. They mirror each other's energy. So you've been working hard to grow your abundance and your prosperity. You talking about it is going to put an end to it. Just FYI, just so you know, it's going to send that spell work right back. They both lazy. So yeah, future, you're going to start speaking up. You're going to start speaking up. You're going to start seeing the beauty in you being a Gemini. You're going to start speaking up sooner. Because your family knows about what's been going on behind your back, and they keeping stuff a secret. Or everybody just sitting there just wanting to just see your abundance and prosperity grow. Oh, I thought you knew, but they didn't say anything. If you can open up your mouth to say, I thought you knew, you could have opened up your mouth to say something else. That's why they cut off. You got enough information to save yourself. This right here, you saving yourself. You got a very jealous ex. Just lazy. They always been lazy. While somebody was pregnant, they don't want to do nothing extra. If you were the one that was carrying the child, they didn't want to do anything extra to grow your abundance and your prosperity. Just wanted to just sit back and be in receiving mode. If you was the one that planted the seed, they didn't want to do anything extra to help out the family. Nothing. Lazy. And people are seeing it. So yeah, every excuse under the sun. And I'm talking about under the sun. Both of them. So you use your time, your creativity to work and grow your abundance and your prosperity. They use theirs to lay on the mattress. That's what they use their time for. They thought they was going to ride something out until to the end of time, till you died. But that's not happening. You're not dying no time soon. and I'm just saying, this is a general reading, so take only what resonates with you, but you ain't dying no time soon. And what you're doing, because you've answered the call in your life, you're speaking on it. You're not going anywhere anytime soon. Matter of fact, you just getting started. So if they tuned in, turn up the volume. Right? Yeah, you saved yourself. You saved yourself. Somebody was married to a bum. And that could be a man or a woman. Somebody who just don't want to do the help. Even if it was something going on where they really want to just kind of like go to therapy or whatever, they could just go sit in a therapist's office and work it out in therapy. So they can say, okay, I at least can release all of that. I've been holding on to something. It's just been building up and building up and building up. Let me just go to therapy. Yeah. But yeah, this is you. Somebody has been holding on to something for a really, really long time. The way that they're spinning something, Gemini, whoever you are, is that you've been holding on to something for a very long time, right? So it's always two sides of the sword. They're saying that you're the one that's holding on to something for a very long time. And so that's how you got your whole new lease on life. No, you've been a hardworking person. No matter what kind of job you had, you always been a hardworking person. So y'all just not compatible. That's what it is. Y'all just not compatible. They can go their way, you go yours. That's the end of that. So you're not going to you're not stopping answering your call on life just because they're saying you're causing them nightmares. Then they need to stop watching you. If they're watching whatever platform you're on, they need to stay as far away from you as possible. If you're the nightmare, if you're the one that's causing them nightmares, then they don't need to be anywhere near you. They wanted a whole new lease on life. 3, remember y'all rolled third house, right? Third house is like a short drive away. Like, go. If I had my setup differently, I would have the books in the background. I want y'all to do like birth chart, like study, but not just birth chart, but what it means. Like what it means, third house. So third house, that's where we develop language and communication skills. Experiences of early education belong here, as well as relationships to siblings, cousins, school friends. Your planet here suggests how we develop, or how you develop your ideas and your style of communicating them, right? Has early education, short journeys. They don't live that far from you. They don't live that far from you. They wanted a whole new lease on life, and now all of a sudden you're the one that's the nightmare. When you didn't move close to them, they moved close to you. You're the nightmare. Then they should wake up then. Wake up, get back in the car, and go where they came from. Because you're a very compassionate person, and you understand somebody didn't want to do the work when you knew them. Like, they thought that you were going to carry them, right? They didn't want to do the work before, right? And they still really don't want to do the work. They still want you to carry them. Like, you know, like kids jump on each other's backs at the playground. You're not doing that. You're not a kid. Remember, you all rule third house. That's early education. So whoever this, and the ex could be a friend. It's not always love interest either. This could have been somebody you shared a womb with. Okay, just so we're crystal clear. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be somebody you had a baby with, whether they planted the seed or you carried the seed. This could all be somebody that you shared a womb with. Like, it could be a sibling, or in your ancestral line. Like, it could be several energies that feel like, okay, let's all hop in the car and let's all, okay, if this person has this whole new lease on life, we can all pile in and move in with this one person. You don't live that far from somebody. Look, you got 4 people. Maybe it's time for you to take a drive and find out what's going on and whose name is on the lease. So you can have some face-to-face conversation with telling somebody if that name is not on the lease, they need to be out. They need to be out. You don't need none of their help. Because they're just a nightmare. They've been causing nightmares. All they doing is partying, and somebody can't even rest. Whoever this is. Just a bunch of lazies. Don't want to get up and work. Nothing. Just want to just ride. Just be out having a good time in a party. Just lazy. Wanting somebody to save them. So if somebody wants you to save them, you don't have to save them. But just pop up. There you are. Pop up. Oh. Who is this? Watch, you're going to find some of your family members over there. The lazy ones. The ones that don't want to get out and work. You could be working 2-3 jobs. You could have 3 jobs. That number 3 should be significant to somebody. Have 3 jobs. But something has been a nightmare for somebody. And they're going to swear you were talking about them behind their back. Okay. And what? Yeah. Oh, we know what an open enemy. They ain't never heard of an open enemy in their life. Because they've been secretly watching you. Or watching somebody who talks about open enemies like this channel. They ain't never heard of that in their life. So you saved yourself. You saved yourself from this jealous, whoever this energy is. This could be a man or woman they always come in like they riding a white horse, like they saving somebody, but they're not saving anybody. These flowers right here turned into potpourri. You know, they came in like they were so relaxed and, you know, I don't spend a whole lot of money on myself. This kind of thing, right? Because it's like when you know how like, because you have new love coming across your path. This person is literally taking care of they taking care of their whole bloodline. I'm telling y'all, that story it's not even by coincidence. That story on Instagram with that husband and wife in that restaurant is this whole reading right here. The husband was just devastated. The wife, she wasn't surprised. She just wasn't surprised. Because apparently the husband, I don't know what kind of job, because they didn't really say what kind of job he had. Not that he should even share that on Instagram anyway, because it's none of our business, right? But whatever kind of job he has, he's been carrying the whole family the whole time. And so the wife, she was like, let's not take care of the bill this time. Let's get separate bills this time and see what happens. Oh, I know they say that she got devil horns on her head. I already know that. But sources saying, and that's what somebody have kids with. Somebody's family really think that just because somebody making money, they supposed to take care of the whole family. Like, no, hold on. What's up with your spouse? What are your kids doing? Right? So, yeah, you can already put an end to something. You're about to put an end to something. You're already talking about it. And people are starting to see, okay, people are starting to see something, that somebody was sacrificed after all the sacrifices that you made. That's what a sacrifice looks like. You made a lot of sacrifices and somebody is starting to see that you could have an adult child that's carrying a lot of people on their back because they want to live the high life. You talk about sturgeon fish. They want to live an expensive lifestyle, but it's really you're the one that's paying for the expensive lifestyle, right? So you're the one that's paying for it, and you're seeing it in your dreams and your nightmares, and that's what was discovered, that your psychic gifts were awakened because you started remembering how many people in your family you carried, you paid bills, babysat, you stood in a gap for, did whatever you need to do to help out family members, and as soon as they got an opportunity to ride your adult child, that's exactly what they did behind your back. But then you got a jealous ex. And all they got to show for something is, I want you back, and I just got some flowers. The flowers are probably plastic. Child, if you... Child, never mind. Yeah, see, the difference between you and them, whether it's a man or woman, because we don't do man or woman bashing, but whether it's a man or woman, is that they've always been lazy. They've always just been lazy. They told everybody that you were the one that was lazy. That's what they told everybody. Had everybody clapping and cheering and smiling. They carried the weight, and they wanted. I'm telling y'all, listen. This right here, they showed you they was an open enemy from the very beginning. The moment you stepped through the door and you was around their friends and family, and they let their friends and family attack you, and they act like they didn't hear or see something, that's when you should have took off running. That's when you should have looked like you had like engines attached to your attached to your shoes. You should have took off running right then and there when they didn't see their family and friends attacking you. So no, you sent the spell work back. Yeah. And then they got somebody in their family is act like a teenager who's been seeing you as competition from very beginning. Look, it's in their bloodline. That's why it's so easy for them to split you and somebody apart. Because they thought if they kept somebody, they made a impulsive decision to split you and somebody up. This is somebody you either shared a womb with in your bloodline. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sibling. It could be whoever, y'all bloodline. Or it could be somebody you had a child with. Whether they carried the child or you planted the seed, it doesn't really matter. Somebody really have a sense of entitlement. And only thing, they bring the bare minimum to the relationship. And I'm talking about the bare minimum. So you saved yourself. You got the whole world in front of you. You saved yourself. They bring the bare minimum. They don't want to do nothing extra. They don't want to go to therapy. Don't want to go to counseling. Don't want to do nothing until something is over. Then all of a sudden, that's the only thing that put a fire up under them. Pure laziness. So no and thank you. So yeah, somebody is basically saying you're the one. They basically saying somebody feels like now they can save you financially. They feel like they can save you. If it was just about money, you would have been gone back to somebody. If it was just about money, they've done too much. They've done way too much to burn you. 16, his soul light. Pure light, the love of the creator within you. They can have whoever they're in a relationship with. They can go ahead and they be with them. Because you are thriving behind closed doors. You don't need them to save you from anything. So surrender to the divine. Yeah. Somebody wants you to surrender to something. That's why it was so easy for them to make such an impulsive decision to split you and somebody up. You and somebody that you either shared a womb with, or you had a child with, or something y'all shared, something y'all created. That's why it was so easy for them this spirit to split you and somebody up, because they act like a teenager. They never grew up. They act like a teenager. That's why it was so easy for them to do it, because that's what they motivated by. Baiting and switching people, ending relationships. Yep. So that's what they would brag on. Oh, they would tell people that they ended a relationship with you. Hey, whatever works. Hey, tell people that you got a tail, whatever. They can tell people whatever they want to tell people. They can tell that you got a tail, that you got devil ears in the back of your closet. They can tell whatever. Don't tell it to you. You don't want to know. Show the world the real you. Show the world the real you. So that's what I'm seeing for you. You got a whole new lease on life. So you wish them the best a long time ago. You don't hate anybody, but that's all. They always come with the bare minimum. That's it. That's it. That's all they come with, the bare minimum. They got flowers. They can't even deliver that right. So no thank you. All right, shadow. Yeah. So you already know a secret. See, it's something that a lot of people don't know. This 18 connects us with the moon. You already know a long ago secret that these energies don't think that you know about. So they need to keep it cute and hope that you don't shine a light on that secret. Because somebody feeling really bad about stuff because people are starting to see how powerful your gifts are, and they hoping to God that you do not shine a light on that particular secret, because that would really make them look crummy. It really would. But that's not the energy that you're on. You're not, you're just like, just leave you alone. Leave you alone. Just leave you alone. You already know what kind of time they on. They just grimy. I mean, that's the only word I can use. They just grind. Child, they just, that thing, it's no time to flourish together. That thing died a long time ago. So somebody thought that somebody thought that you were gonna want to grow with them, grow and be abundant with them. No, see, you just haven't. That's why when I started out the reading and I said somebody's assuming that they told people lies. They said that you tell all of their business, whoever you are. The reason why the relationship ended is because you're the open enemy. They wouldn't even know that word if they hadn't watched this channel or read a book or whatever. They didn't know they didn't know it anyway. They might not even use that word. But yeah, that's why we ended, because they tell all our business. If you really told what really happened long time ago, they really need to leave you alone. They need to leave you alone. They need to leave you alone. So your inner child is very proud of you. See? Look how mature you are. The best is yet to come. Your well of joy is within you. So continue tapping in and continue growing. They met their match. Yeah. So continue growing your abundance and your prosperity. Yeah, somebody just envies your life. So somebody's amongst the incubi and succubi. Message from your ancestors. You don't want your ex back. Not this one. And there's plenty of people. Everybody can think of that one ex you like, they need to stay away from you for different reasons. Not because you hate them, because that's how strong the energy is. That's for a good reason. Like, I can't concentrate around that one. Everybody don't hate their exes. But this one right here is so super lazy. They didn't want to do any work whatsoever. The only thing they want to do is lie on their back and have sex with people. That's it. They just don't know who you know they slept with. They don't want to do no work. So they can stay in that same headspace, acting like a teenager, like something is a competition. They can stay in that same space while you continue to grow your abundance and prosperity and keep it high vibrational. You're not looking back. And your family know these they know who they slept with. Your family members know. They sitting over there hoping and praying to God you don't expose somebody. You don't need to. They already exposed themselves. All of them did. That is what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. But yeah, hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this is helpful. Yeah, that's a movie that y'all should watch though. The one that's Hush with Jessica Lange and well, I can't say should watch. That may be something while you're in new moon phase if you're watching something. Watching movies. That's what I was kind of like referring to here in the reading, but even if I don't refer to certain movies or book titles or something, if you have a platform like this, somebody's going to always think you're talking about them. So that should not stop you from your abundance and your prosperity growing. Because we only got 12 zodiac signs, unless you count Ophiuchus, to be 13. And the number of human beings on planet Earth. Something is bound to cross over. Like something is bound to, like you're going to have something in common with somebody, right? Because there's nothing really new under the sun. That's in the Bible, right? You're nothing new under the sun. So anyway, that's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. Time for you to flourish. You put it into something. Yeah. You already know somebody, they just, child. Anyway, next. It's all becoming clearer to you. That's what I have for you. Bye.